Let's learn from our past, but not live in it, right? Do you get what I mean when I say that? When I say, let's learn from the past and let's not live in it. Let's use the past to help build a better future, but let's not live in the past to not create a future. How many people do you know that always talk about the past? How many people do you know that always think about the mistakes they made in the past and don't really do anything to change it? They don't really use it to motivate them. They don't really use it to grow them. Right? They don't use it to give them the wisdom. So it doesn't really give them the wisdom so they can make better decisions in the future. Make better decisions in the present to help build their future. They're just living in the past. Yeah, man, remember back then, man, we were crazy back then. Man, we used to do this, we used to do that. Yeah, we were turning up, we were getting it. Oh, but I wish I saved a bit more money. I wish I invested some of my money. I wish I was actually taking care of myself. I wish I actually pursued the things that I wanted to pursue. I wish back then, if only. See, this vocabulary, this way that some people communicate, the way they act in conversation, the way they portray themselves, is all past. Have, had. It's never opportunity. It's never gain. It's never future, looking in the future. It's never what we will do. It's never what we can attain. It's never what can we create. It's never that. It's more living in the past. Right? The only thing we should use the past for is to make our future better. We can learn from the mistakes of our past. We can learn from the things that we can learn from the way that we operated, the decisions we made that probably weren't the best, and use it in this present moment to make sure that we don't make those mistakes again. It could even be the thing of you were in a situation where you were working a job that you hated. You were working a job that you didn't even, it was so soul killing, right? You could use that past to motivate you in the future, to make sure that you're grinding every single day on your goals, on your passions, right? To make sure that you're pushing every single day, to make sure that you're doing the best you can, to make sure you don't go back to that past. Right? To make sure that you continue to stay focused in the present, to make sure your future is better. Right? And then when you look to the future, when you get to the future, you realize, okay, it's the decisions that I made in the past that helped me build this beautiful future. Or it could go the other way. If you don't make the decisions, if you're not putting the work in, if you're not disciplined, if you're not consistent, if you're not optimistic, if you don't have that element of positivity about things, if you're not having that growth mindset of continuing to improve, then you might look into, when the future does come, you might look and be like, oh, my life isn't the best. Oh, it's because of the past. It's because I didn't really put the work in the past. It's because I was too distracted in the past, right? But there is still an opportunity there if you were there to use the past to allow you to change your behaviors, because the mistakes that you made back then were the reason why you're not living the life that you really want to live. Right? The answers are in the past, if you think about it. The answers are in the mistakes. Those losses help you get to the win, but we have to understand that those losses are losses, right? I think a lot of the time, again, we just live in the past and don't really think ahead, right? We're not thinking ahead that much. But we need to change that approach. Of course, always be in the present moment, but we need to think ahead. We need to understand that, okay, if I'm chasing girls all day, if I'm distracting myself all day, if I'm not working on anything all day, then how on earth is my future going to get better? How on earth am I going to grow into the person that I need to grow into? How? It doesn't add up. You're not putting any energy into it. So how is it going to come back in return? This is how we have to talk to ourselves. This is the way that we have to approach life. If you want to be a better person, if you want to build things, create things, and really build things that last a lifetime, this is how we have to approach things. We have to think ahead. We have to know, okay, what can I do today to make tomorrow better? What can I do today to make next week better? What can I do today to make next year better? What can I do? There's always something that you could do. There's always something you could do to achieve, your goals. Or on the flip side, you could just waste time. Waste time and let that time tick. Let that time keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. And then where are you? Nothing. You haven't achieved anything because you just let that time go. You've let that time waste away. And now you have life responsibilities. Life's getting in the way. Kids, bills, drama. But you didn't take advantage of the time that you did have. You didn't take advantage of the time where you had a bit more free time, where you had a bit more time to build yourself. You know what I mean? But you decided to waste it on just alcohol, on drinking, on girls, on drugs, on distractions, on shows, on this, on that, And each to their own. But I'm only talking to people that really want to build something in life. And to be honest, it's like I'm talking to myself. Because I know at the moment I'm in a position where I need more out of life. I want more out of life. I need to achieve more. I need to gain more. So I know I have to put work in every single day to make sure my future is better. To make sure my future matches up with what I visualize every day. To make sure my future matches up with the goals that I have for myself. The amount of money that I want for myself. The amount of things that I want in my life. The impact that I want to leave in this world. I know I have to put work in. I know if I waste that time over and over and over and over every single day, that's not going to add any value to me, or it won't add any value to anybody else, right? If you want to be a person who is, a notable figure, a person who is an inspiration, you have to have value, isn't it? You have to have value. You have to keep growing. You have to inspire, right? You have to create, right? But if I'm not doing that on a day-to-day, if I'm not building anything on a day-to-day, how on earth am I going to be my best version? How on earth am I going to be successful, right? So what you do today in the present dictates your future. And a lot of people just live in the past. They live in the past and maybe get demotivated by their past because they just think of the mistakes and don't have a, positive mindset when they think of the past. They think of it as, I failed, I took a loss, and then that just declines, their mood declines, and increases their anxiety, increases their depression, so they don't even want to act anymore. They don't want to act, they just want to distract, Whereas you have another person who looks at the past and gets motivated from the past because they knew, what position they came in, and they know that, I could change that. I could change my future. I could use that past, the mistakes, to motivate me to make sure I don't make the same mistakes again. To make sure that I continue to build and learn and develop and grow from the mistakes that I made in the past to help me become, the best version I could possibly be. So again, learn from the past and don't be a victim to your past. Don't let your past dictate how you feel. Don't let it make you be a negative person. Allow your past to grow you into a better version of yourself, and use it to help you build, a better future. Hopefully you enjoyed that video. I will see you in the next one. Peace.